G'day, I'm Colin Dangaard of the Australian Stock Saddle Company. Today I want to talk about the scapula in relationship to the function of the saddle, an extremely controversial point. Now, many people have you believe that the scapula, when the leg is fully extended, moves back several inches. Well, I'm here to show you that it does not. It moves back somewhere between 1.5 and 2 inches. So here is the scapula right there. Where my finger is right there, that's that bump, the scapula. The horse has legs square down on the ground. So I'm going to mark where that scapula is with this felt pen here, this magic marker. There it is. That's where the scapula is now, with the horse at rest. Now I'm going to have my assistant here, Valentine's going to lift the horse's leg forward to full extension, and we're going to see what happens to that scapula, okay? There it is. It's gone to here. Okay, so we'll mark that. That's where it is now, at full extension. Put down the leg. So let's measure that distance. Hold it, good mare. Okay, it moved 1 3/4 inches. The movement of that scapula varies from 1.5 to actually 2 inches. People who have Tennessee walking horses are led to believe that their scapula goes back several inches or some such nonsense. It does not. The scapula on a walking horse makes no greater movement than that, and to prove it, you can do just what I did with go home, measure your Tennessee walker like that, pull the leg forward, measure the extension of the scapula, do it with a quarter horse, and you'll come up with the same number of inches, between 1.5 and 2 inches. That's all it goes. Now on our saddles, we flare out the front of the saddles, just as a bet. Our bearing surface of the saddle is here, then it flares out like that. I'll show you that on a saddle in a minute. But that's the bearing surface, then it flares out. Okay, I'm going to get a saddle here and show you that. So there is the saddle now in the correct position on the horse. Haven't girthed it up, but that's how it's going to be when you girth it up. Now, you'll notice our saddles are flared out in the front. You see that flare? Flared out here. The bearing surface of the saddle is 2.5 inches in from that leading edge here. It's in there. There is the bearing surface. And you'll see that that lines up with the mark I made where the full extension of the scapula is. So the scapula comes back here and goes back to that point, and then marvel of marvel, Valentine, pull up the leg one more time. You'll see now the scapula coming back here to that position here, and pull the leg out to full extension like the horse is galloping. Pull that leg right out there. She's okay with that. Pull it out. Now look what happened. The scapula come here and then went inside. It rides under the saddle. Contrary to popular belief, that people think the scapula comes back and bangs the saddle. It might on some saddles. Doesn't do it on my saddle because we have a flare in the front. And regardless, it only comes back between 1.5 and 2 inches. This is Colin Dangaard explaining another mystery of saddlery. Thanks, folks.